Yo, what up, people? Here to do my review of my favorite toy, the Onewheel. Um, Gonna go ahead and lead off the video just by saying that I'm not a fanboy. I mean, I love it, but I can see what's right about it. I can see what's wrong about it, and I can see what hopefully will become better about it. Um, And I will say that I think that this thing is gonna be the sickness when version 2 comes out or simply when technology progresses. But let's jump right into it. Gonna do it the good, the bad, and the ugly style. So first, the good stuff. So right here on the front page, you can see it says self-balancing, intuitive control, right? That is the good stuff. Like, and this is, I think, really important. The best thing about the Onewheel is that the concept is sound. It is absolutely the right way to do an electric skateboard. It is uh, definitely the best design, and there's multiple reasons for that. I'll try and go through them quick so I can get through this video without too much time. So first off, it's self-balancing, and that's fun as hell. Like, you lean forward to speed up, you lean back to slow down. It feels like you are riding it, like you're driving the machine. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel hokey. It feels like an extension of your body. And as they say in the next bullet point here, intuitive control. Yeah, absolutely. It's not like the crap where you have like a hand controller for speeding up and slowing down. It is lean to go, and that makes it so easy to learn, so easy to ride, and so much fucking fun. Um, and the big fat tire, which is harder to see in that picture there because you're looking at it side on. It's easier to see from the top view, maybe this picture here. The big fat tire, which is, I'm looking at my Onewheel now, probably about 6, almost 7 inches wide. That's really cool because it means that the board is stable, which is more important than the board being super fast. Like a lot of other electric skateboards, they can go almost twice as fast as the Onewheel. Some of the ones out there can go like 20 miles an hour, whereas the Onewheel cruises at 12 miles an hour. And I think that, yes, the big fat tire is not the speed machine, it's not a speed demon, but you have a much lower chance of getting thrown from the board. You have a much easier time dealing with cracks and inconsistencies in the pavement, with poor road conditions, with old pavement, with sidewalks, and frankly, you absolutely can ride this thing off road. Um, it's actually kind of fun to ride off road. Gravel isn't too much of a problem as long as it's not deep gravel where the wheel would, kind of like spin out. Grass is not a problem at all, especially if that grass is kind of even. Like, I bet this thing would be fun as fuck to ride on a golf course where the grass is well maintained and you could just like cruise the fairways. Frankly, I think that might be the most fun place to ever ride. I got to try and sneak onto a golf course sometime. But the big fat tire, it is a good idea and it allows you to pivot. You can make very small circles, so it's really easy to move through traffic, especially pedestrian traffic. It's really easy to make tight turns on the board, something that you can't do on like a four-wheel board. You can even do a three-point turn where you like lean forward and turn, then lean back and pull the other direction, and then lean forward and go. I've done three-point turns that are super convenient. And hey, it's hands-free, so that's pretty gangster, right? Because that means you could like answer your cell phone if somebody calls, or you could carry groceries, or I mean, whatever. For me, it's smoke my e-cigarette, but I mean, choose that thing that you would like to be able to use your hands for while riding. You can do that. Um, let's see. Going over then to the bad. The bad is not hard here. Let me show you the bad. Um, Onewheel. So they want $83 for the fender that goes over the wheel. That's a safety feature. I mean, don't get me wrong. It allows you to ride through puddles or to ride, over wet terrain without spitting shit up all over yourself. I've done that before. I do want a fender kit, but frankly, it keeps you from getting your fingers or your feet smashed between the wheel and the board because you're riding over top of this giant go-kart tire that's like spinning at 12 miles per hour. So I think it's ridiculous that that is not included in the base item. The reason it's not is because it was not available when it was first debuted. This has since been added, but let's keep it real. $83 for a safety feature is bullshit. Bumpers at $45. Yeah, that's too expensive, but I'm running on the same bumpers and I'm a year in and I ride as much as I can, and I can tell you, you do not need new bumpers. Ultra Charger, $125. What the fuck is that? Why is it $125 to purchase an additional charger? Like, not only is that charger overbuilt and overpowered, by the way, the board charges in 20 minutes using that Ultra Charger thing, but as you see here, there is no option for a cheaper and more convenient and portable and slower travel charger. So Ultra Charger should be cheaper and Travel Charger should exist. Um, a helmet for 120 bucks, like whatever, they're just trying to make money. Onewheel t-shirt for $30. That's right, you are going to wear around advertising for them, and to do so, it's $30. What does that what Foot pads at 50 bucks actually seems like a reasonable deal, but that probably just shows my ignorance. I probably don't know how much foot pads cost because everything else here is overpriced. Onewheel pocket t-shirt, that's new, but it doesn't matter because it's $30. Onewheel wave stand, it looks like it's well crafted. However, you don't need a stand for your Onewheel. Your Onewheel um does not I don't even understand that item, frankly. Like, I don't get what that is that does. I mean, you got to be a real fanboy to buy that garbage. So the other problem with the Onewheel uh, is how it debuted. The Onewheel debuted and has still not gone down from this price of $1,500. And in addition to it being $1,500, it debuted with like a oh god, what was it? It was like an 8-week shipping time. That's how long I waited to get mine. Frankly, yeah, no, that doesn't make any sense. And I know that I don't want you guys to get this wrong. I own a small business. I'm a capitalist through and through. I am not against $1,500 because it's a lot of money. I am against $1,500 because it's the wrong amount of money. Every time I go anywhere on my Onewheel, people are literally stare at me. They ask me to ride it. They ask me what it is. They ask me where to look it up. They want one. If you see somebody riding a Onewheel, trust me, they are having as much fun as it looks like they are having. And the problem is, at $1,500, it's very hard to sell units in quantity, right? Because you could price it at 2,000 and some people would still buy one and you'd make more per unit. Or you could price it lower than $1,500, sell more units, and thereby potentially make more total money because of the amount of units that you sold times your profit margin. So, I just think that this is the wrong price. It's not that it's not it is too high, but it's not just that it's too high and I'm complaining that it's expensive. I'm saying at 11.99 or 12.99, I think that these guys would have sold and will sell a shitload more units. And those units are where the real money is because when you got that money coming in, you can order your shit in bulk. You can build larger and more efficient facilities. You can get better shipping rates. You follow me? Like, you can nose down your production cost by making it up in volume and leveraging all the economic efficiencies of that. And of course, that plays into the 8-week shipping time. They didn't debut with enough capital to build a bunch of units up front. They didn't trust themselves that they were going to sell so well. And I believe that had they debuted with a more capital intensive outlay, they could have started the price a bit lower, or for the love of God, at least lowered it at this point. I mean, the product's been on the market for a year. Like, clearly, the early adopters have already paid their extra coin to get one. So I think that with a bigger bang to debut, with at least a lower shipping time, and then maybe nosing the price down $100 a month after it had been out for 6 months, dropping it to its eventual price that they wanted it to live at, maybe like, 11.99 or 12.99, possibly even 10.99. I don't know how much profit there is per unit. They would have sold more total units. They would be selling more total units today. The more of them that are out there, the more people see it, the more they ask about it, they hear about it, and the more frequently people are cool with the price, right? Because when I tell people it's $1,500, I would say 4 out of 5 of them are like, "Oh hell no." 1 out of 5 of them's like, "Huh, I really do want it." If that price was $1,200, maybe a little bit less, maybe only 2 or 3 out of those 5 people would say, "Oh hell no," and maybe 2 or 3 people would go, Maybe," and maybe one person just be like, "Oh yeah, absolutely, I got money, fuck it." Um, and now we will get to the final part of this video, and the final part of this video is the ugly. Like I said, this is the good, the bad, and the ugly. So here is the ugly. First of all, this says 15 mile an hour top speed. No, that's not true. I own a Onewheel. 15 miles per hour is like just before you tilt over the front of the board and smash your face into the ground. Do not ride the current Onewheel at 15 miles an hour. That is ill-advised. Um, Over about 12 miles an hour, the board starts to become squirrely and unstable unless you are like on the smoothest of pavement, and in addition to being on the smoothest of pavement, you are also very cautiously nosing the board forward to go beyond the safe end of the top speed. The cruising speed of the Onewheel is about 12 miles per hour. That's like you're on like a residential 25 mile an hour road that isn't paved like shit, and you're like carving it up at 12 miles an hour. Um, that's in the ugly category because I believe that the board needs to be a little faster than 12 miles an hour cruising speed to be a useful form of transportation. Right now it's fun as hell, but at 12 miles an hour, you're probably getting places about as quickly as you would on like your bicycle. And that's for those of us that bicycle around casually, not for people who have like a road bike or like a decent bicycle, in which case they are probably traveling at a higher average speed than 12 miles an hour. So while I don't think it needs to hit the 20 mile per hour of the longboard style boards, I do think that it needs to be faster than the current cruising speed, which is not 15 miles an hour. It is 12 miles an hour. Um, Intelligent LED lights. I actually really like the lights. However, I think the configuration should be narrower so that it casts a narrower, brighter, further beam as opposed to a dimmer, wider beam than what it currently does. Because at night, even at 12 miles an hour, you need to see a little further up the road. And yeah. Let's see what else. 20-minute full recharge. That's an amazingly fast recharge, but it's because of the overbuilt charger that should have been like a 30 or 40-minute recharge in a charger that costs less and is smaller and more portable. Because, and here's a novel idea, you want to go places on your awesome ass electric skateboard. You may want to take your charger with you. Like if you're like rolling around, you need to stop at a Starbucks and charge up. You gotta bring like this brick out of your backpack. Oh, and there's no like other space in your backpack. Like basically, I'm looking at my laptop charger right now. I would say that it weighs 2.5 times as much as my laptop charger, and physically, it is 3 times larger in all dimensions. Well, not in all dimensions. It's like twice as long, 3 times as wide, and 3 times as tall as my laptop charger. So, yeah, not a fan. Um, 6 to 7 mile range. No, it does not have 6 to 7 mile range unless you ride at 20 psi, which is their recommended, and you weigh like 140 pounds, and you're not carving or going up and down significant hills. the current range that I get on mine is probably about 10 to 15% less than that. I get 5 to 6 miles range, not 6 to 7. And again, I put that in the ugly category because as batteries get better, the range of the Onewheel will get better. So this is not an inherent problem with the Onewheel, just like the top speed is not an inherent problem with the Onewheel. Um, all of the spec related stuff, such as the range and the speed, will get better as batteries and motor technology get better. So the important thing is the right thing was done, which was they made an awesome device. And then finally, this app thing here. Yeah, I mean, Android, right? It didn't debut with Android, it only debuted with iPhone. That was super annoying. But again, the technology comes along. They like paid somebody to write an Android app, and voila, now we have an Android app. So yeah, that's in the ugly category because it should have debuted either with the Android app and iPhone app, or just the Android app because more people use Android than iPhone. So I don't understand why they chose iPhone over Android. But frankly, again, they should have just started with more money. They should have taken out bigger loans or gotten other investors or whatever. They should have written both apps for the debut. I can tell you after reading the message boards, there were people that said, "Well, I'll get one when it comes out, when they come out with an Android app, because right now I can't connect my phone to it to change any of the settings." So yeah, I mean, talk about missing some early sales there. Um, but that's pretty much my review. To sum it up, the concept amazing. The execution, yeah, could have been cheaper, could have had a quicker shipping time, could have more affordable accessories. They could be making it up in volume. And the stuff that really in the long run isn't going to matter, such as top speed, range, recharge app, that's all fixable by battery technology and other types of technology, such as writing the app, such as making a second charger, which is the travel charger, right? Changing the LEDs configuration. That's version 2.0 will probably have a better LED layout. So there you go. That's all of that we could potentially chalk up to current level of technology with the stuff that has to do with batteries. Or we could chalk that up to, first run. They decided to set the LEDs up this way. They decided to go with this quick charger instead of a travel charger. They decided to launch with an iPhone app, not an Android app. All of that, will not matter a year from now. You know what I'm saying? By 2017 or whatever, everything will be fine. So this thing is 100% going the right direction. Um, I will say there's one other thing that I will leave you with that really bums me out about the Onewheel, and I'm not sure that this can be fixed by technology as easily as these other things, and that is the weight. The Onewheel weighs too much. I think the current weight of the Onewheel is I think it's like 25 pounds or something like that. Um, and I get it, there's ways to reduce the weight. They could maybe make the motor out of aluminum. I'm sure the motor currently is not made of lightweight metals. They probably like found some motor that was right for their application, bought a bunch of them. They didn't like have a motor made for them that was specifically made from lightweight metals. The tire is going to be heavy because it's the right thing to do is use the large tire. So I don't see how you could really get around that. It's a feature, not a bug. Yeah, there it is right there in the manual. 25 pounds is the weight on this thing. They did use aluminum for the construction, and that's good. That helped keep the weight down. And yeah, batteries could contribute to solving that problem. If 2 years from now batteries are twice as good, then instead of putting all of the extra battery value into range and top speed, they could maybe just install a little bit less battery capacity, bringing the weight down because batteries are heavy, and you'd still get an improvement in range and speed, You just wouldn't get as much of an improvement as if you had kept the same amount of battery weight. So maybe they could have a custom motor made for Onewheel that is made in a lightweight way, and maybe as batteries get better, I mean, the weight will come down. The problem is I don't see the weight coming down enough. I mean, even if the batteries were better and the engine was lighter, maybe they could shave 5 pounds. Like, okay, so it's 20 pounds. Next time you're at the bowling alley, pick up a 10-pound bowling ball in each hand and walk around the bowling alley for like a minute or two. You'll quickly realize that carrying around 20 pounds because they made it 5 pounds lighter, it's still too heavy. And maybe that's just the limitation of deciding to use this wheel that is so large and deciding to put in this big, powerful, torquey motor. I don't know, but it would be awesome if they could bring the weight down. I mean, they could make the whole thing 10% smaller, frankly. I ride with my feet pretty close to the center, and I'm the average height of a U.S. person. I'm 5'6", 5'7" almost. And if you take like women and men and average them together, that's about the average height. So my stance is pretty average. So that might be a way to shave some weight, is just make the whole thing physically smaller. But anyway, that's my review. Product is good. It will get better. Most of the problems can be fixed, and the problems are not egregious enough to keep you from buying one. So, all things told, if you have the money, get yourself a Onewheel. You won't regret it.